Hey, it's Amy Green with Amy and Art Designs, and we are going to do some tier tray crafting today. Everything back there is looking very empty because I haven't done any, I haven't put up our Joyful Crafting Club stuff yet. And two, I'm slowly moving from Christmas on into the current holidays. So I'm so glad you're here. Come on in and say hi. If you're watching this, you probably are on the replay. So drop hashtag replay. And then the other thing I want to say, if you're new here, make sure you let me know that you're new so that I can say hi and we can give you a warm welcome. If you're here, this is also, just so you know, it's part of the Craft Around the Clock segment, which is going to be, Miss Tracy will push the video right into the group. So we only have 45 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and get started. But make sure you say hello and let me know you're here. I'm feeling so spacey for some reason. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Tammy. Hey. Oh, Shanna's new. Welcome, Shanna. Let me go ahead and share with you because we don't have a lot of time. Let's get started right away so I can share with you what we're doing today. If you're new here, you may not know that I love to craft tier trays. I love to do purposeful DIY home decor, meaning when you're finished, you know what to do with it. I don't know how many times you guys have crafted something and you've been what do I, now I made it. It was really cute. What do I do with it? Right. And that was always my struggle until I got very zeroed in and specific on what I wanted to craft and what I wanted to do with it. So let me get started and then we'll say hi. So keep saying hi in the comments. So once we get started, I can come back and say hi to everybody that's here. But I like to give you guys crafts and then say, okay, now go put this on your tier tray or go hang this on your fireplace or this will go on your front door or this is a shelf sitter and here's where you can put it. But too many times we craft something that's really cute and we have no idea what to do with it. But where do I hang it? And what do I do with it now? I have no place for it. So my whole motto is purposeful crafting, stuff you're going to get tons of mileage out of and stuff you're going to love for years. So let's look at what we have here. This is a 5-piece tier tray decor set. If you don't know what a tier tray is, it's like a 2 to 3 level tray that you can put little cute things on to create this showstopper area in your home. This one, we have a round sign that says February 14th. We have a little love bug, an XOXO tag, a word stack that says love, kisses, smooch. And then this is a mini garland that will hang around the tray. Okay. I'm going to start with the VW bug and let me tell you what I think we're going to do with it. And then you guys can tell me whether or not you like the idea. So, I was thinking about using this napkin to make a little heart printed VW bug and then doing the hearts and the trim in red. What do you guys think? Let me know if you are into Mod Podging the bug. If you are, let me know in the comments. I'm going to start painting and I'm going to say hi to everybody. Okay. Now I'm trying to use our time super wisely because Craft Around the Clock is 45 minutes and I also have small people to pick up from the bus. So, that's Miss Tracy. She is our fearful leader in Craft Around the Clock. Hey, Sarah, Tammy, Shanna's new. Welcome, Shanna. Everybody say hello to Shanna. Hey, Gail. Saw you at a busy weekend, Gail. Hey, Mary. Oh, Mary's from Ocean Breeze and Me. Hey, Mary. Thank you for the sprinkles, Tammy. Appreciate those sprinkles. Hey, Elaine. Elaine, I sent you an email. I don't know if you saw it yet. I didn't see a reply, but check your email, girl, because I need to know about your add-on tray. Tammy W. Tammy's our faithful servant. She's always helping someone. Hey, Sandra, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for the sprinkles, Mary. Kim, hey, Kim. My Juanita, hello. Hey, Trish. Lisa, we have lots of friends here. Hey, Jan. Okay, Barbara's new. All right, awesome. I love hearing from all of you guys. This is a lot of fun. So this is a 2 layer thing. So one layer gets glued on. So I'm going to paint the front first. I have a new little paint thing only because, oh, you did answer the email. Okay, Elaine, great. Might not just have seen it yet. Because this comes with like a whole thing for your brushes, so I can stop ruining my brushes, but also you can cover it up if you stop painting and then come back to it and it doesn't dry out. So I found that and I thought I'm going to give this a try. So if we're going to decoupage this, the tires are going to be black, I think, and this will go around the bottom. So we don't need to paint all the way down, but we do need to get it covered enough. Decoupaging this and keeping it out of the tires is going to be interesting. I didn't think about that, but we will figure it out. So I'm just putting a layer on first of this white so that I can decoupage, and my napkin still holds white in the back and doesn't pick up the brown from the wood. I saw Juanita ask the question, where did I get the paint tray? Let me show you the whole thing. It's really cute. I haven't used the bottom part yet, but so often my paintbrushes, I don't get the paint out of them. And then, you know, when I'm brushing, the rare times I use a brush, so this has these little ridges. You can kind of go back and forth, and you can angle your brushes down in here. And you can also set them along the side. And then this goes in here, and this goes on top. It's a little caddy. And I really needed something to help keep my paint dry in between, especially if I'm doing a longer painting session. I found it on Amazon. I thought it was, what is that material? That like really pliable material. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's like plastic, but you can like pop it out. I've seen people put the paint into those, like the things where you can like pop it out, and then it like once it dries, you can just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an ice tray. It's an ice tray that pops out so you can put the paint in the bottom. But I liked this because it's narrower, like it's not as deep as a paint, an ice cube tray, and you can still let it dry and just peel it off, right? But I like that you can put the lid back on, and I liked the water bin that goes with it. So I am gonna find my heat gun. Silicone, yes, everybody knows the word silicone. Thank you. Yes, silicone. Thank you, guys. I could not. My brain is okay. My husband and my middle son have COVID, and the other three of us do not. Like, I tested myself again this morning. We don't have COVID, but I am tired from taking care of all the people. I mean, it is a lot of work. It's better today because two of them are at school. We tested them before school. They're all fine, but it's a lot of work. So I've got this here. This is dry to the touch, and I'm just going to take, you don't have to do this, but I really prefer this step when I'm decoupaging a napkin, especially like a white-ish napkin, to just kind of take my sandpaper over the top just to smooth it out, okay? So yeah, this is not silicone. This is like a hard plastic. So we'll see how I like it. It was not expensive. I think it was $10. But I really liked the paintbrush well, so that if I'm using brushes, they have a place to rest, and I can kind of wipe some of that extra paint out, okay? Because sometimes it just gets stuck in there. Hey, Renee. Hey, Amy. How are you guys? So I'm going to go here. It's been a busy day too. All right, let me just, okay, there we go. Okay, now my next step, I'm going to clean this up and put a little Mod Podge on here. I'm going to use matte Mod Podge. Hi, Patty, over on YouTube. I love my YouTube friends. I know a lot of you guys prefer YouTube for live streaming just because you can put it on your TV and you can see better. Which is why I like to stream live on YouTube also. You can always, it's also easier to find the replay on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back to the replay under my live crafting tab, everything is there from live crafting. And it's easier to find the replays on YouTube than on Facebook. You can sometimes scroll and scroll forever and never find a replay on Facebook. Okay, this is just Mod Podge. Oh, thank you, Juanita. Oh, Kim says she has a tray like this and she likes it, a paint tray. Thank you. And then Catherine's asking if it matters if the Mod Podge is matte or high gloss. I prefer the matte Mod Podge for napkin decoupage. But I'm being very thoughtful in my answer because I don't have like a specific reason to give you. Aside from it's just my preference. I think you can, if you have the high gloss and you don't have the matte, I would, if it was me, this is just me, right? I think I have all of them. I may not have high gloss. I may have gloss. I would just try it, test it out. Even like you can even like cut 2 little pieces of cardboard and try the same method on both pieces and see which one you like better. It's always like a fun series I've wanted to do for you guys, and I've never gotten it done, but like testing products and seeing which one I like the best. So that I actually record the results, not just, well, I did this one and I liked it better than when I did it this other time. Okay, I'm going to dry this. I'm going to make sure I turn on my craft iron here. So, hey, Karen. So, the people that make their own, I know that my friend that does a lot of decoupaging says you can even do it with a glue stick. You can do it with water and Elmer's glue. Y'all, I am not that ambitious. You can usually find a can of Mod Podge at the Dollar Tree, a small one for $1.25. And yeah, it works. So it's just something to think about. If you're in the Dollar Tree, you can definitely pick it up. But I know you can even take like some glue and water it down a little bit. I'm just going to cut this into pieces. Let's see here. How do we want this to go? I think I'm going to. I'm going to cut this down the middle. This is just a leftover napkin from the Joyful Crafting Club's box this month. And I thought, the polka dotted bugs are really cute. But since we're like, it's kind of a quick crafting session, I thought we would try this. Yeah, they do. A lot of times they'll have the small Mod Podges at the Dollar Tree. And a little, it doesn't take much to, you don't need a lot for most of the applications I'm doing. So I'm just going to pull this down to like 1 ply. Okay. And the reason I'm going to do this is because if you don't get it down to 1 ply, then it will come off. The top layer will come off. Hey, Susie. Welcome, friend. Glad you're here. And I made this a little bigger because I don't want this, the edge of the napkins have like that imprint here from where they kind of serge them together or seal them together. I just don't want that part on my little bug. Okay. This is going to be cute. I just want the other part. So I was careful not to Mod Podge the tires. And now I'm just deciding where I want the print to go, because you can see the truck through the car through there. How's the weather holding for everybody? Tell me about it. And let's talk about USPS too, and the mail. If you're I'm at the post office quite often, and okay, I'm using a paper towel here, guys, mostly because I can't find my parchment paper. I usually am a stickler. I'm like, you've got to use parchment paper. Well, I was in a pinch the other day and I couldn't find my parchment paper, and I used a paper towel and it worked just fine. So, notice I'm only pressing up and down, though not rubbing back and forth, because this paper towel has like little divots in it. So with my parchment paper, a lot of times I'll rub back and forth, but this worked just fine. It's just a barrier between my napkin and the iron. But I was there last week dropping off the Relax and Renew boxes, and the amount of mail that those people have to put through the post office. And I was like, happened to be there closer to closing time because Gabe had soccer that night at 5:15 and they close at 6. So I dropped him at soccer. The post office is right down the street. I dropped the packages. And while I was dropping the packages, they also had like 5 other people pull up, plus mail trucks, plus, and they had all this stuff to sort. And then I feel like that was Tuesday, so Friday was a snow day. But what they're able to do and get out is incredible. And so if you're waiting on a package from anybody, like even this from Amazon until forever because of the weather. So just reach out to whoever shipped you the package, check your tracking. But even when I've checked tracking on some things, I get a warning at the top that says shipping times are going to be longer than normal due to the weather. So just give USPS a little grace right now, and know that if you're waiting for something from me and you haven't gotten it and it does get lost in the snow, we'll get it figured out. But I think that it's probably just that they have so much mail right now, and it just takes them a little bit to catch up. It just takes a while to catch up. So yeah, I know everyone is, what is the temperature here? It's 35 here. So I feel like it's a heat wave. Okay. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going in here at an angle. Okay. So that you don't want to go straight across if you've never done this before, because what you're going to do is you're going to take the pattern off of the napkin, and we don't want to do that. This is going to be cute. Oh, Sarah's still snowed in, but your UPS driver brought it. Yeah. Carried him up in the snow. I mean, it's a job. I mean, it is a real job there, and it is just the amount of work in this bad weather it's a lot, especially when you have like southern cities that get shut down. They just get backed up. Just imagine like not being able to work for 2 or 3 or 4 days and then having, that volume of work come in for you. I mean, they're doing their very best. I think in all of the years I've shipped things, I've only had the USPS actually lose a package once. That was it, once. They always have it. It just sometimes gets popped somewhere, or it just is in a bin that hasn't been unloaded or something. Yeah, it is a heat wave here, Kim. Seriously, the 35. So, okay. So we're just going to go in here. Super cute. He's so cute. Okay, so the trick here is going to be to get this off. I just think like it's so fun to take bugs and make them fun and playful and silly. And Trish Lucas says she was excited to see 56 in Texas. Yeah, you know what? The weather has been I don't mind it as much this year. This is my 3rd year in Ohio, and well, since as an adult, I lived here when I was growing up, but I moved to Texas in my 20s. But it's my 3rd year, and this year I feel like I don't mind the winter as much as I have in the past. Kind of gotten used to it, believe it or not. Okay, so I need to go in and do the windows. No, and in Texas, it's just not made. Like, they're not built for cold, extreme cold down there. Nothing is. The roads aren't, the homes aren't. Nothing is built for extreme cold in the South at all. So I'm just going to rip this down into a smaller piece, friends, so that I can get the edges. So this is my Craft Around the Clock segment, which it gets moved and streamed over into the Craft Around the Clock group. And because those are like a really specific time frame, and because I use StreamYard, which is like a third-party streaming app, that's how I get this horizontal layout with my face over on one side and the crafting on the other. It takes a couple minutes for StreamYard to pop over onto Facebook sometimes. So I'm just going to be on my Craft Around the Clock segments, guys. I'll just be up a few minutes early just so that Miss Tracy can find me. Okay, so I'm going to poke some holes. Susan says she's lived in Ohio her whole life. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's beautiful. I will say from March-ish, sometimes late March, through, end of October, mid-November, even this year, December, like it's great. When it's cold, it is cold. Okay, I'm just going to try and go in and cut these down. And I want it to go high enough that it's going to be under the little fender, but low enough that I can So how many of you guys frequently use napkins in your crafting? Let me know in the comments. Hey, Miss Deanna. How are you, girl? Deanna just finished this really beautiful quilt. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. She shared it in a group, and it is lovely. Really pretty. I'm just going to go in here and get these rough edges off. The boys are, the boys are, Joe and Luke are hanging in there. Okay, this is about how I want it. They're hanging in. I mean, it's no fun, right? And Luke is not allowed to go to school until next week, so he'll be home all week. And then, Joe works from home, so he's just doing this thing. And he's still, he'll take naps if he needs to, because it's exhausting, but I feel like it's all gonna work out. I need my black. I'm gonna use a black marker. No, I'm not, because the kids ruined my black marker. Have you guys seen this terracotta paint from Folk Art yet? It is really cool. It has like a little bit of sand in it. So I'm going to take the end of my Mod Podge. I'm going to cut that Mod Podge end off because I don't need a lot of paint for this. And I'm just going to go right in here and do the tire, guys. I'm always like, one, I'm trying to avoid washing brushes if I can. And two, I am trying to maximize what I use to paint with. Always finding a way to do that. Okay, so remember, this is going to go up over here and cover this up. Okay, so when you're painting, and especially when you're doing like wood cutouts with multiple pieces, you want to make sure that you can go back in and that you've painted everything you need to paint in that regard, because you don't want to put it together and have a gap. Oh, hey, Becky. Becky says this is her first time here. She's using her phone and she just figured out how to chat. Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. It's a fun group. We have a fun core group of ladies. I'm always excited to have new friends. Love to hear about what you're crafting. Ask any questions you have. Okay. Let me see where we are. Okay. I think that's looking good. A little more black. Hey, and is it Artina? I can't see from Artina. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. If not, correct me, please. But welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So if you're new here for the first time, I'm Amy with Amy and Art Designs, and I do a lot of DIY home decor crafting, y'all. That is my, and I like to give you a purpose for it. I don't want you just to make something and then like say, well, what do I do with it? Where do I hang it? Where do I put it? What do I do with it? Right? I want you to have a purpose. So when you're done, you know exactly where to display that craft because you spent your time and your money, right? Getting that put together, and it needs to bring joy into your life. I firmly believe in that. Okay. Okay, I did pronounce it correctly. Awesome. Okay, super cute. All right, let's move over to the, I'm going to let this dry before I seal it. We're going to do, I think the heart's in red and this in red. Or should I do it in pink? I think red. And then these could be in silver or white or pink. What do you guys think? Stars, are they turned on? Stars are just a way. Honestly, what I use the stars for now is it just kind of offsets Happy Meal. So I draw names at the end, and then every month I send out from those drawn names, I send out several packages of Happy Meal. And I'm almost caught up from the holidays. I know I still have Gail's. Who else? I have a couple more people sitting over there that'll go out. But then it just kind of offsets the shipping cost for Happy Meal. I just send little like wood signs or sometimes napkin packages. Red and silver. That's what I was thinking. I've seen the red would look really cute. So Artina says red and silver. So that's kind of what I was thinking. So we're just going to go with it. Okay. So again, I'm going to take off that. Actually, I'm going to move this down and then go up. I kind of just, before I go in and paint, you can't see, but I'm pouncing up and down. Just so if you have too much paint on your sponge when you go in, it's going to slop down the sides of your wood cutouts and it's going to look sloppy. So that's why we're just kind of using a little bit and taking some of the extra off. Sometimes you have to do a couple coats, which is better than having a big old mess down the side of your wood cutouts. The hearts are on top of the car like Valentine's Day hearts. No, not like just got married hearts dragging down the back. There's a little holes. Eeny ass. There's little holes right here. And so you thread the string through the hearts and then through the holes. And then you have like a little mini garland in front of your car. It's going to be really cute. Yeah. So this is the blue tape. If someone asks about that. Oh, my new crafting gadget. Deanna's asking about this. This is, okay, I got this on Amazon. It's like a little paint tray and has a lid. Look at this. And then it also has this. So you can put water in it for your paintbrushes. Because you guys know I'm always ruining my paintbrushes. And then like if I've got to stop painting this to go pick up the kids or whatever, I can leave my paint in here. Put that little lid on it and then come back to it later and it should be fresh. So I'm testing it out. You know, if I'm doing like just a sit down, I know I'm going to like finish beginning to end, maybe not as necessary, but a lot of times my crafting is start and stop and I can't finish all of it in one sitting as much as I'd like to. And a lot of times I end up throwing a lot of paint away. So I thought, you know what, let me give this a go and we'll see how we like it. So yeah, this is just painter's tape. How do you spread? I don't know if that's what it says, if it says spread joy with the stars. It just helps me offset I just really use the stars. If that even came up, which if it did, I don't know why it did. But I always appreciate them because what I do is I use them to help offset the shipping costs for Happy Mail. Because for any Happy Mail package, I'm going to use a marker for these guys. Shipping can be anywhere from, $5 to $10 per package that we ship out for Happy Meal. Okay, this is just a Sharpie, guys. It's a great hack. I love my Sharpies for little things like this on my trays. And then the last thing I need to paint before I start putting this together is this top part. If you've never done this before, this is great because you can just lift it up and move it. And Gail commented that the red seems to need 2 coats. Yes. The red paint seems to dry less even. And it seems to need a couple coats before moving on. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay. So now I just want to paint the windows here. Okay. I'm going to use steel gray. Carrie says the 3M painter's tape. Okay. I haven't noticed a difference between, for what I do, and like I think maybe for professional painting, if I was wall painting or something, but I haven't noticed a difference in painter's tape to just hold those pieces in place. But I've not like done a side-by-side test either. So I know you do a lot of that, Carrie, so you could be absolutely like spot on there. So for this, I'm using a steel gray. And if you're on, okay, I thought of this the other day. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. But one of the things you guys ask me the most often is colors, paint colors. And so I was looking for something to put like the paint colors together on. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just take a picture and like put a little like paint swatch down the side? And I don't know how many of you guys saw the leprechaun, the gnome leprechaun I did, but I did that with that. And I was like, oh, I kind of felt like a genius for a quick minute. And so that way you have easy access to my paint colors and it's right there on the picture. And so I just literally color matched right inside Canva, made that little thing up. This is varnish. I'm going to seal this before we put the truck together. And then it's a little different process than I teach in my Joyful Crafting Club. I teach to like paint everything that's the same color at once to expedite, to be efficient. Words are coming hard for me today, but because we don't have a ton of time today with Craft Around the Clock, I was hoping to just get as much done as possible. So I wanted to get one piece done if we could, but I started adding the paint that way, and it's so helpful because then you guys, if you're like, oh yeah, I want to make that project, right? Or I just want to use those colors on another project, you can just save that post to come back to later. If you know me, you know right now I'm being fussy, so I can get fussy with my crafting. Oh, you know what? Let's do a little decor wax before we do this. But what was I talking about? Does anyone remember? It'll come to me. How many of you, if you have that problem, just comment below if you relate to, like, you're like talking on and on about something, then all of a sudden you're like, what was I talking about? I know you have to relate. Come on. But anyway, you want to put this decor wax on before you seal it because it's hard to get it to go on as well. So if you want to do any distressing, now on the napkin, you need to be really careful because it can, once it's on, it is on. Yeah, total squirrel over here. So I'm not sure what I was talking. I was thinking about multiple things at once. One, I was thinking about showing you how to clean up the edges. And the other thing I was thinking about was, oops, don't forget to do the decor wax because it's not going to go on. And then I was thinking, well, you want to make sure you sand it. So anyway, my point was, and I did have a point, I think what I was going to talk about was the paint colors. And then it just makes it so easy for you to save that, see the paint colors I used and go, oh yeah. And you can really take those, like if it's a St. Patrick's Day or a Valentine's Day craft, you can take it and just use it for anything, color inspo anywhere. But then that way you can see what the colors will look like in real life on a picture instead of just guessing. And I just like to do the decor wax because it kind of makes it stand out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do these a little bit. Yeah, they're kind of like paint swatches, right? They're kind of like paint swatches, and I just made it look like a paint swatch down the side. And I thought, you know what? Why didn't I think of that before? Because before I've like spent all this time like making another sheet and you have to download it and blah, blah, blah. This was just so easy. So I'm just going around the edges, guys. And I'm not really too concerned because I'm going to hit this with sandpaper real quick. And anything I don't like, I can clean up with the sandpaper. But especially the red, I feel like it looks a little better with when you do a little sanding. So, and with the paint swatches, like I said, you know what? You don't have to paint the gnome or you don't have to paint this set. But if you see have the colors I used, you can use the same colors in any other project. Like these colors even translate to like Christmas, right? Or maybe the pink, not so much to 4th of July, but Christmas, Valentine's, spring, summer, the reds and the pinks, tulips. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with this. Yeah, and you can just share that post to your profile. You can save it. You can send it to your messenger, and then you'll always be able to find it. Send it to a friend who paints, just as a great way to get some inspo later on. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. And if you're on my Telegram, I send them over there too when I finish them. The gnome was the first one I did because I just thought of that for the first time after doing the gnome. So, but it should be over there in Telegram. Okay. And then I'm just going to sand this down a little bit. And I don't want this to be like perfect because it's supposed to kind of look like a window, right? And when you look at the reflection in a window in a car, it's not like a very solid, you have some variation, which is exactly what I'm going for. So I'm going to seal this and then we're going to glue this little car together. Juanita says that the paint samples are nice because sometimes people want to use the exact same color. Yes. So I'm going to go over my napkin first. I have the Duraclear. This is in satin. You can seal with a Mod Podge. I just prefer not to. And I have a lot of reasons why. I can talk about this at length. Why I couldn't talk about the other one at length at all. I don't have a ton on there because I don't want to saturate it too much. It is a paper product. But the great thing about the Duraclear is, one, it goes on really nice and smooth. It's not as thick as Mod Podge. The other thing that it does is if you get some bubbling from your crafting, when you put this over here, sometimes it'll bubble. You can still go back over it with your craft iron real quickly and just press it right down, and it won't stick to the craft iron or whatever medium you're using to kind of form that barrier. I'm going to do my gray next, and then I'll go in and do the red because sometimes it does pick up a little bit of the paint. I'll show you. See, I didn't pick up any there, but Jennifer says she's bundled in her RV under a heated blanket trying to work. You're over the cold weather. Oh, I know you guys have had so much trouble. I know when we moved to Ohio, it was March. It was not January. And we camped for a month because our house wasn't ready yet. So we sold our house in Texas before we bought anything in Ohio. And we kind of found this house right as we were leaving Texas, right before we left Texas. And so camping from March until April in Ohio was really interesting that year. Jennifer, is it dripping over your toilet? Okay, I've got 4 minutes, so we're going to try and move quickly. Because, so we should be able to put this together in 4 minutes. I may not be able to get the little garland moved on. But if you don't use Duraclear, I just want to urge you to do it. See how much better the paint looks afterwards when it's sealed. It just takes it up a notch. So it also dries really quickly. I'm going to use, this is already dry. Yeah, and so I'm going to just use this because it's quicker. Now, I usually prefer the spray glue, but I'm not set up for the spray glue right at the minute, and I want to get this done. I would never do a whole tray with this, I don't think, because it just takes too much time. But for one piece, it's super quick. Becky says she understands what you're talking about. Yeah, it is. I mean, I had to buy one of those little foam things that you put up above in the top so that we didn't get dripped on when we used the bathroom. It was like just like a little Sherpa foam square that fit up in that toilet vent. You guys are learning all kinds of fun stuff. I loved every minute of it, though. I mean, we had so much fun with the kids. I was homeschooling then, and so it was just a really great experience. I think my husband, though, would have just preferred to have not had to work out of the RV for a month. Because, like, he was working on one half and I was homeschooling on the other half. It's not that cold then, Jennifer. Because what happens is the condensation forms. Y'all are getting an education. The condensation forms from the heat in the RV to the between the heat in the RV and the outside temperature, and then that's what causes the condensation, right? The temperature difference. Okay, so I've got that on there. How cute is this? I don't know if I'm going to get done. I may not get done. This is really cute, though. Okay, so I'm going to go in here like this and just hold it in place. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to use this string to string those. So, guys, I've got to be done in 1 minute. So you're going to have to find a picture of this when we're done. When I get the little heart strung up, because Miss Tracy, we have someone coming up next in Craft Around the Clock. Um, y'all, if you haven't dropped exclamation notify in the comments, please do that real quickly so that you can get some, Facebook can tell you the next time I'm live. Drop that down in the comments, exclamation notify. And if you can also drop exclamation Telegram, and you'll get a link to join my Telegram channel. I would love to see you back. I'll be back here Wednesday, sometime between 1 and 1:30 for live crafting, and we're gonna we'll make something else. I don't know what yet. If you have suggestions, I always love to hear them. I'm Amy Green, guys. I'm with Amy and Art Designs. Make sure you hop over to the next Craft Around the Clock segment. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, guys. Sorry. That's my reminder to pick my kids up from school. And thank you so much for being here. Hey, Shanna, no exclamation mark, no space between the Telegram, just exclamation Telegram, no space. Hey, Sheola. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Keep crafting and spreading joy in the world through the beautiful things you make, because the world needs you and your creativity. I love y'all. And I will see you back here Wednesday for more life crafting.